right, y'all didn't need to see that. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming to JawnCon, the very first one. And this is opening remarks. I believe the Twitch stream is up and running at the moment, so we should be good for there. Okie dokie, let's just get right into it. So for those who are not, don't know where John comes from, it's something that I've come to learn being a Philadelphian now for about 20 some odd years. But it's a universal noun. It's a universal adjective. It's a universal adverb. It's take that John, hang it on that John, put that John over there. And in a lot of ways, that kind of describes a lot of my ethos. For anyone who's ever been in my basement, there's just a lot of stuff that's all across the smorgasbord of life experiences. Old computers in one corner, just crap on the floor, from soldering projects to puzzles to random art to stuff. It's a John. The basement is a John. Sorry, Beth. That may explain some of it. However, the idea of having all that diversity of interesting stuff is the whole reason why, a part of the inspiration for JawnCon itself. If you've noticed on the schedule, it kind of has a little bit of everything across the board. In the chill out room upstairs, there's a little bit of everything. It's all a John. So welcome to JawnCon, where anything goes, the points don't matter, and anyways. So another Philadelphia mannerism is just entirely encapsulated in this one comic. And that's the other aspect of JawnCon that is one of the things that I really enjoyed trying to craft the whole feel of this event is that it's Philly. Go F yourself. The phrase, welcome to Philadelphia, is both a greeting and a threat. There's no other city where a traveling robot would just show up and get pummeled to death in the city of brotherly love. The juxtaposition between those constructs is just uniquely and distinctly Philadelphia. So we're having a bit of an extension of that. I'm not going to have to read the slide, but I'm going to have to read the slide. So what are we doing here? One of the main points of JawnCon is to help the students, the young adults that are up and coming in this community, that it is sometimes very scary and difficult. We've all been there at one point or another in our lives, to be able to reach out to someone, imposter syndrome or whatever you want to call it. There's usually a degree of hesitation about that. So that's why students get in for free. The point of the students getting in for free is to buddy them up right next to the professionals. And for the professionals, everything else here is a watering hole to attract you, and it appears to have worked. So thank you for falling for my trap. But the value is for the next generation. We're not getting any younger, gray beards, gray hairs, and all that sort of stuff. But there's some stuff here also to entertain you as well. But also at the same time, there's this... As I've gotten older, one of the things that's frustrated me with kids these days is it's not a lack of appreciation or a lack of understanding. It's a lack of exposure to the foundational technology that was really, really old. Like, no one wrenches on cars really anymore. You get into a car, you press a button in a cold start situation, and you just go. There's no real understanding or knowledge base of what's happening actually in the computer and the software behind the scenes that's driving those automated decisions. So a part of the reason for having a lot of the old stuff here is, one part nostalgia, but the other part is to expose a lot of the students that are here that may not really fully experience the joys of installing AIX or the displeasures of taking Solaris 8 and trying to configure a routing path for it. There are people here that are going to get triggered by some of the technology of, like, why am I doing this again? But it's there for fun. It's fun. There's a memory lane component to it. There's payphones upstairs that are fully integrated into a private little phone network where there's events and CTFs and all that sort of stuff wrapped around it. You can blue box, you can red box, you can explore the phone network like it was in the 80s and the 90s, not like you can do nowadays. So it's a great knowledge bridge so that folks can start to see, like, oh, wait, why does AWS do this particular decision? Oh, that actually tracks all the way back to AIX 4.2.1. a particular logic train that goes all the way back to that sort of stuff. So having an understanding of some of the older stuff gets you clarity towards why was that technological decision made or a particular solution made implemented. Alrighty, is that better? FBI search warrant. No, I can't do that anymore. Alrighty, so I'll just do it like this. The other things to be aware of: your badges. You may note that they are punch cards. There are three types of punch cards. They are all where the holes are is you're not losing any information. It's just for the grommet. But they are oriented in a way so that you can visibly identify a punch card that you don't have, so that you can start working backwards from that and then solve the challenge associated with the punch cards. You may have to talk to someone. Sorry, not sorry. But they were fabricated by a fellow down in Alabama. His name is Mark. He goes by VA Stargazer. He took the time to make those punch cards. And if there's hanging chads, I can make a Florida joke, but I'm not. I need an ibuprofen. But they are completely punched through. So go ahead. If you see a black spot there, like you can poke it through. They're fully there. But there's a challenge associated with it, and it'll give you a chance to interact with some of the technology that's in the chill out room as well. Other bits of stuff. Hack 5 is sponsoring all the prizes. So thank you, Hack 5. SEPTA, where's Mike? There's a mic in here somewhere. Well, no, I'm holding a mic. But SEPTA and Mike generously worked together to lend us this very real SEPTA bus sign. The fun facts that I learned about SEPTA bus signs is that the containers are typically the more expensive part of the thing because they are built to keep all kinds of fluids out or in. They are there you are, Mike. They are also yellow shirt, Mike. But if for whatever reason it decides to catch on fire, it'll contain the fire. If there's a fire outside of it, it'll keep the fire outside of it. It is a very interesting box, but nevertheless, thanks to everyone who helped jangle together a solution to be able to hack this thing back to working, because I think this was end of life manufacturing wise in 2002. There were no manuals. The software for it is not available. And there were some significant efforts that were last minute about going to SEPTA and putting a serial sniffer in order to, there you are, get the actual syntax across. But even the syntax for the modern signs didn't directly translate to this sign either. So it was a smorgasbord of frustration and joy. And when it finally worked, it said poop, and I was happy. So all the talks are going to be in this room. There is a class being run by Vlad in second floor. It's all things cyber offense sort of stuff. If you there's a sign up. I put a link on the website, but actually at this particular point, just go in. It's not going to be that big of a deal. Let's see here. Other things for the students and the audience and attendance. There are people who are here who are taking time to do resume reviews with you, to do practice interviews, as well as there are recruiters here from the FBI, CIA, and NCIS. And throwing you under the bus on that. But they're available. They're around. They're not doing cloak and daggery sort of stuff. But there are also companies here that may or may not be hiring as well. But find them, work together, do a resume review. The reason, personally, for me right now, leaning heavy on the government recruitment is industry is kind of screwy right now with jobs. And the government checks don't bounce. They just get delayed. Continuing resolutions. Let's see here. Other things going on. If you were to be able to bullhead right through the wall to the balcony up there is a set of soldering stations. So if you go up to the second floor and then go out to the balcony outside, we've got soldering kits. Yep. This fellow waving his hat is the one running that for us. And if you feel like helping out the con in any other additional fiscal ways, you can go fuck yourself and put some fucking money in the fucking swear jar. Um, uh, my dad has one for our kids' college tuition, and they're well funded. So, anyways, I think I covered everything. Already. Next stuff, rules of the house. We're at a university. It's a learning environment. It's a learning space. This is not DEF CON. Please be respectful of the other students and folks who are here. Not everyone is fully aware of what's going on. If there's a code of conduct posted on the website, uh, we're not going to be jerks, right? If in doubt, like don't put googly eyes on something that isn't JawnCon related. So if you're thinking about it and you're kind of curious about it, just don't do it, like the banana says. Um, and as it relates towards some of the older fogies in this room, these two things if any of this resonates with you, then it is time to schedule your annual physical. And again, like take 2 ibuprofen in the morning before you get up with your vitamins. But the ports on stage, whatever that is, uh, for anyone who has not seen any of this stuff, that's all upstairs right now. We have serial adapters. We've got ways that would make you really start to appreciate some of this old stuff and how it's been adapted over into modern technology. And nowadays, it's like, I don't know why it still takes me 3 tries to get USB-C to work. Um, it's just the curse of the USB gods. But nevertheless, that's kind of the generation of the whole thing. Big thank yous to the folks from the university for helping orchestrate and set, working with us. We're a new event. This is the first one. To all the speakers and presenters, you're taking time out of your days and lives to be able to come and support the conference and also share knowledge and contribute to the swear jar when appropriate. So thank you. The staff couldn't do it without all the magic helpers. Beth, thank you very much. Stand up. I'm going to put you on stage for that. Without her, this would definitely not be possible. The attendees, thank you everyone for coming and just participating, being able to take the time with the students and help them along and build some of those social networks. From there, SEPTA, thank you all very much. From Hack 5, Darren Kitchen, just I'm just going to throw stuff, and it's in the mail. So thanks to Darren for being able to send a whole bunch of prizes for the CTF. And this often doesn't get said, but thank you, PumpCon. So for those who do not know, I think it is the oldest HackerCon in the U.S. And it starts, the get-together is Friday night at Liberty Bowl, and then the event, if you can find it, that's your hide-and-go-seek prize in a sex dungeon. Not kidding. Right around the corner from Iffy Books, if I remember correctly. But I think the website will have the address on it. It's not going to be Secret Squirrely so much anymore. But the website's down. Website. Anyways, well, tomorrow I'll put the address up here in the closing remarks. But so the folks from PumpCon worked with us to be able to schedule a non-overlapping October event, but you get 2 cons for the price of 1. For those that don't know, PumpCon is free. You better, it's your choice. That's your life decision for going to that event. Whatever happens there is entirely of your ownership. Yeah, it's very much like I've seen fist fights break out over the OSI model. It's a happening. So without further ado, if there's as far as this room is concerned, we are doing a live stream on Twitch. Phil is handling that. If you have any questions for the speakers and for the benefit of the folks on Twitch, there's a microphone over here, and there is a camera there on that mic so that folks from Twitch will be able to engage with you as well. If for whatever reason you're a speaker and you don't want your stuff blasted and or you change your mind or anything else along those lines, just tell Phil first and stream goes down, recording goes down, things along those lines, you're good to go. We are able to handle that stuff dynamically. And if I have time for questions, I ran a little hot and heavy. Otherwise, Mudge, did you want to take 5 minutes, or are you good to go? Take 5 minutes. All righty. So we will take a little bit of time. I just want to also say a big thank you to Mudge for coming out as well, for being our keynote. He traveled a long way, so a round of applause for Mudge.
Thanks, Rogue.
And without further ado, we'll just take a moment and just catch your breath, and then he'll be up here to do his thing in a minute. So catch y'all in a bit. Thank you for coming.